Hello, whoever is watching. If you can hear me, give me a 1, please, because last time I went live, my audio nor my video worked apparently. So, um, apparently it was just a black screen and it was all silent for over 15 minutes. Even if you're a troll, I don't care. At least let me know you can hear me. Well, whoever was here is gone now, so I guess I gotta wait. Get some viewers in here. Hmm. Let's see. General settings. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so I don't know who's in here, but if you can at least hear me, please type 1. I would greatly appreciate it, just so that way I know you hear me. I don't know who's watching. I don't care who's watching. I don't care if you're a troll. If you're watching and you can hear me, type 1. Of course not. You run off again. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know who it is that's in here that keeps running off. Um, I'm gonna assume that you can hear me. So, um, let's start off by saying that anyone and everyone who believes in the power of prayer, whatever, I don't care, good vibes, good wishes, whatever you want to call it, please send them Meghan's way. Pray that she gets strength because she's feeling really down. She feels like, giving up. But I know she's strong and I know she can fight. Um, as many of you know, Meghan Walsh is John Walsh's daughter. John Walsh is the host of America's Most Wanted. That's how many of you know who he is. He also helped start the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. His son, Adam Walsh, was also apparently murdered back in 1981. Says there's two people in here. I'm assuming that someone, whoever, I don't care, please type a one in the chat if you can hear me, because my last live stream had audio issues, and for over 15 minutes, nobody heard a thing I said. So please, if you hear me, type a one in the chat. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Meghan is a fighter. I have seen it in her. I know she's strong, and I know she's able, and she needs people to send her prayers, good vibes, whatever, because the devil is really trying to get to her, and I don't want to see her give up. I want to see her continue to fight, because that's what you do. You keep fighting. You don't give up. You do not let the devil win. And as a parent who has been down the road that Megan's been down before, as well as Hunter, who has fucked DSS, it's hard. It's tiring, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, any way you could think, it's tiring, because it's a never-ending battle. You're jumping through hoops constantly, and they're berating you and downgrading you, especially when you go to court. You know, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, or whatever. And, I mean, they want you to have a job, but they want you to go to all these classes, and the classes overlap with your job schedule. And, I mean, it's so hard to accomplish everything that they want you to accomplish in a certain amount of time. But I know that Meghan is a little different from the rest of us because of who her parents are. Meghan was brought up from being able to have parents who had people who did stuff for them and whatnot. They had nannies and everything else and stuff because of what happened with her brother. I'm sure that through life, Meghan would have rather had her brother than having those nannies, or, her father host the America's Most Wanted shows and stuff like that. And I mean, Megan's told me this. She would have rather had her brother there. But one thing I can honestly say is I believe in the power of prayer. And as it says, have faith the grain of a mustard seed, and you can move mountains. Megan's faith needs to be built back up. So Megan needs prayers, because with prayers, anything is possible. Well, shall I say, anything is possible. Sorry, y'all, it's been a long day. But I know she can pull through this. I know that she is very strong. If it wasn't for the fact of me being in court myself and hearing well, I wasn't physically in the courtroom, I was at the courthouse, but hearing the things that were said, talked about, what the legal team said, the whole 9 yards, it just baffles me at how things can happen. And there's nothing a parent can do about it. The parent can't be like, hey, blah, 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 or whatnot. Like, and even the lawyer can only do so much. And her lawyer put up a damn good fight on behalf of Meghan. Even though She was just appointed on I think I said the 27th of July. It was 2 weeks from the date that it began, which was August the 10th. So count back exactly 14 days. And that's when her lawyer was appointed as her full-time lawyer and had over 1,000 pages to go through to present a fair trial for Meghan, which she didn't get to go through all the 1,000 pages because that's a lot of documents, and you want to make sure you review each and every one of them 100% thoroughly. So it wasn't fair to Meghan or to her lawyer, but I know that Meghan can continue on. I know that Meghan is strong enough, but she just needs some prayers. She needs prayers to find her strength again. So, any and everyone, whether you believe in the Lord, you don't believe in the Lord, I'm not asking you. I believe in the Lord. That's my own opinion, and that's who I choose to believe in. And everyone can be any faith they want to. But whether you believe in the Lord, you believe in the Virgin Mary, you know, I you I don't care what you believe in. Please send prayers, good vibes, well wishes, whatever you want to call it, Meghan's way, because Meghan truly needs them at this moment. Um, she's trying to find a job. Again, since she's able to finally go back to work from just having the baby not too long ago. But I know what it's like. I've been in her shoes. I've been where she was before. The only difference is my upbringing compared to hers. And I had people who prayed for me. They never stopped praying. They prayed every single day. And things worked out for me and Hunter. So I know that with people praying for Meghan every single day, that things can work out for Meghan too. And that's what I'm asking. Please, if you can, send prayers to Meghan. It's not going to be easy for her. I know it's not. I've been in there. I've been in those shoes. But she literally had everything ripped away from her. She wasn't able to grow up learning how to do things like the rest of us did. She's having to learn everything as an adult. And they ripped her home away from her. They ripped her children away from her. They ripped everything away from her. And she's literally having to rebuild her life from scratch, which I've semi been in that position, but not to the fullest extent. You know, I've been in the position where we had a fire and lost everything and had to rebuild from scratch. But Meghan, never had the chance to learn how to do her own paperwork for certain things. There was people who did that for her, just because of who her parents are and her upbringing. And now she's literally learning how to do everything now, every single thing from scratch. And they're not looking at it from that viewpoint. But I know that she deserves to at least be given a chance to try to get herself together, to figure out this new life that she has. And they're not looking at it from that viewpoint. And it's sad. You off. Can you at least hear me? Because, I've asked a couple of people that's have came in. If you can hear me, let me know. I know my last live stream I had audio issues, but I'm live on my phone instead of my laptop this time, so maybe my audio is working. But I just want I'm static as I talk. I wonder why. I don't know what's going on with my phone. At least there is some kind of audio because last time I didn't even have audio. Hold on, y'all. Let me try this. Audio default. Let's see. Speakers. Audio. There we go. Okay. Maybe that's a little better. If you can hear me louder and clear, let me know. I tried to fix my audio. I also realized that my mic volume was down, so I may have to restart. I don't know. Um, Let me refresh it and I'll come back in. Hold on one second. Okay, is this better? I don't know if this is better or not. Hey, where did you off go? He had a comment in here a minute ago. Hello? I have no idea. I just refreshed, so if this is better, let me know. Okay, good. Okay. So, as I was saying, um, Megan needs our prayers, thoughts, vibes, well wishes, whatever you want to call it, because she's really struggling right now. Um, and I know it's hard for her because I've been in her shoes. It's hard mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of it. It's hard. And especially when you go from your upbringing of her kind to where people done everything and anything because of who her parents were, and she was never taught to live a normal life, and then all that gets ripped away from her, and now she's having to start fresh and learn how to do everything as an adult instead of being able to learn how to do everything as a child. It makes it that much worse. And so not only did her whole life get ripped away from her, and not only is she fighting for her children, but she's having to learn how to do things in this new life that she should have been able to learn how to do as a kid. And a lot of people don't look at that. They're thinking, oh, well, her parents were rich, blah, 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 this and that, and the fifth, and third. She wanted a normal life. I'm sure, without a shadow of doubt in my mind, from what she told me, she would have rather had Adam in her life than to have all this glancy, glampsy, whatever you want to call it, stuff happen in her life. I mean, it's baffling to me how people can sit here and say the things that they say about this woman and not realize her mentality that's going on right now. You know, she lost her home. She lost her kids. She lost everything, y'all. And when I mean she lost everything, she lost everything. But she had a right to ask the things that she asked without being called crazy, without being called mentally unstable and this and that and everything else. And I'm to the point that I just, I wished I could be there to give her a hug and let her know, hey, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel pressured. It's okay for these things to happen. You're not in, you know, the eyes of the public anymore like that. It's okay to show your emotions. I mean, I don't think she was ever even allowed to really be able to show her emotions truly. And I know she had 3 things left to do. Just 3 things. She's finally able to start back to work, but she's got to find her a job. Um, then there's housing, but again, the situation bears down to she had housing. They took her housing from her, but they expect her to magically pull a house out of her, no offense, but her ass, when she already had one to begin with that was illegally taken from her, which shouldn't have been. And they're holding her money hostage. So, how's that fair to her? It's not. They're beating her down into the ground. They're making her less of a human than what she really truly is. Meghan is a wonderful person. She's full of spirit, and she's got a smile for miles. You're good. But I mean, when they sit here and they beat her spirit down constantly over and over, day after day, for over a year on end, it gets exhausting. You see no light at the end of the tunnel. You have tunnel vision, shall I say. You don't see light. All you see is darkness. You see no hope. You see no way out. You see no end in sight. But as someone who's been there, I know there's end in sight. And that's what needs to be done for Meghan. It needs to be shown that there is end in sight, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a way. I know it's possible because I've been there. But like I said, I mean, Meghan, she's got spirit, y'all. She really does. She's got a smile that'll light up a room. She's just as sweet as can be. And I mean, it's just hard to know that you've got someone who's trying so hard, even though she's had everything ripped away from her and has to build her life back from scratch. Her parents will regret later and said, when your family isn't going to support her, dad is in way. So, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but I'm going to say Corin. I don't know if I butchered your name. I'm sorry. But, um, July 15th of, I forgot the year. Look up where John Walsh admitted to being a sex addict on Larry King Live. Um, he also was on the Globe magazine with his shirt off, and it had a woman wrapped around him with like a massage tool on his chest and everything. And he even says that he was cured for his sex addiction. He admits the cheating on his wife, Reve. He also has another daughter with another woman that is not Reve, that is not out in the public, but DNA has proven that he is the father of this child. Um, let's see. The sheriff that's in the county that they're fighting now, his name is Eric Flowers. You can see the sheriff's campaign on Facebook. Um, and he helped pay the sheriff's campaign, and the sheriff even was like, I'm approved by John Walsh. Um, Judge who was over the case, I actually found out more information that this judge was working for the sheriff's department the year that Adam went missing. He started in the year 1981. So I know he knows John because, that was like the huge, big old thing that happened in 1981 in that county where apparently Adam's head was found. There's a whole website with all of Adam's case files on it. It's called justiceforadam.com. I actually found out that Adam's head was actually apparently, allegedly, because I got to looking and I got to thinking, what did they do with his head? Because there was no mention of a burial site, no mention of being cremated, any of that back in 1981. His head was kept on ice for over 20 years at the Indian River County Sheriff's Department in Vero Beach, Florida. They used bone marrow and they tried to match it to Reve to see if if that was Adam or not. The first time it came back that she was not his mother. The second time it came back, she was his mother. So they used the one that said she was his mother instead of the first one that said she wasn't his mother. Never done a third test to see, if it would be positive or negative of her being his mother or not. There was never an autopsy report done on the head to even see, what was the cause of death or anything of that nature. John and Reve never identified the head. It was the boss man of John who identified the head. And the first time he said it wasn't Adam based on the teeth discrepancy. And then all of a sudden went back and changed the story up to, oh, it is Adam. I'm sorry. I didn't look at it right the first time. How the heck would you not know if that was Adam or not the first time just by looking at the head? You would know if that was Adam Walsh or not. There's just so much more to this situation that a lot of people don't realize. So yeah, and apparently 1 minute is told that it's 10 years that the judge that's over the TPR trial was only there for 10 years, from like 87 to 97 because he retired in 97 from the police force. But I found out that he was actually working there in 1981. So that's the year that Adam went missing and was found allegedly murdered. And I'm going to say allegedly murdered because there's a lot of discrepancies in the story. If you look at all the pictures and everything, you have never seen a picture of John Walsh or Reve Walsh crying about any of the situation that ever happened with Adam Walsh. They said that the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children was started in 1984. I've actually have other evidence to prove that it actually started in 79. John created the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in 1979. but did not fully launch it until 84. It didn't become national until 84, but it was created in 1979, 2 years before Adam, well, almost 2 years because of when he filed his EIN number and whatnot. So, um, it was actually created in 79, almost 2 years before Adam went missing. There's a thing on YouTube a lot of people need to look up. It's called Adam. His song continues, and then put in parentheses the number 1986, and they need to watch the whole thing eventually. But my main concern is that they need to fast forward to about 42 minutes and 30 seconds. You'll see Reve talking to John. Well, it's an actor and actress. Portraying John and Reve. And this is stories that John and Reve have told people. So they created this video based on stories that John and Reve have told other people. And they're trying to remove it off of YouTube. But fast forward to the 42-minute and 30-second mark. Listen to Reve and John's conversation. And then after John and Reve hang up, there's going to be another phone call. And a lot of people need to hear that second phone call and wonder why it's trying to be removed off of YouTube. I mean, and for Christ's sakes, the man admitted in his own book that Reve was 16 and he was 22 years old when him and Reve started having relations. And Reve was not of even legal age to consent in the state of New York at the time. And so he admits to being a known pedophile. I'm sorry. And this is the people that think they're more capable of raising Meghan's children than Meghan is. Oh, and let's not also forget the fact that John wants to adopt out Meghan's oldest child, which is her daughter. And notice Meghan is the black sheep of the family. And John has very much taken to his two sons, Callahan Walsh and Hayden Walsh. And now he wants to adopt out Meghan's oldest daughter. He wants to keep Meghan's two boys, and Meghan's youngest daughter, him and Reve denied taking in, and then in court the other week, whenever we were there, told them, he said in court, well, I need to speak with Reve about everything first. So I'll have to speak with Reve before we can decide if we can take in the baby or not. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, so the baby's been in a foster home for, a couple of weeks now. Now all of a sudden they want to act like some big superheroes in court and act like they can take the baby if he talks to Reve to try to make it look good on their behalf. No, that's not how it works. I'm sorry. You denied your grandchild. Why do you deserve to take your grandchild now? They didn't show proof. They needed to tell more. Exactly. They never show proof of anything. All they said is that a head was found. They never done dental records to see if it was truly Adam. They had dental records back then. The two discrepancies of one being the mother, one not being the mother from the bone marrow. And 20 years for a head to be on ice. So from 81 to 2001, that head sat on ice at the police department, y'all. That is freaking creepy. I don't care what nobody says. And I mean, to know that even an autopsy report was never done, I don't know of anybody. Even if you're beheaded, they're going to at least try to do some type of autopsy to see if they can get like the true day you died, or if they can see like maybe if there's something like strangulation, whatever, before becoming beheaded. And I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. And the fact that they found the head, right? But they never found the body. Never found that body. Like, I mean, even if they dismembered the whole entire body, eventually you're going to find an arm here, or a leg here, or a foot here, something of that nature. But they never found a hand, never found a foot, never found a leg, never found an arm, nothing. From 1981, and we're in 2022. So let's see, that's 91, that's 42 years almost. Yeah, no, it just passed. So yeah, 42 years. In 42 years, you're going to tell me all you ever found was the head. But you found the head in Florida, which is the state the child came up missing in. But you never found nothing else. Never. That don't strike people as odd. If the head was there, the rest of the body was dumped in Florida somewhere too. If that truly was Adam. Just saying. But that's a side note, y'all. Finish. You think her mom is afraid of him? Well, I will say this, and Lord knows that there's so much I could say about that woman. But all I'm going to say is if you leave your 6-year-old child in the mall alone at an arcade to go shopping in 1981, because things were different back then, as she quoted, there's always been monsters. There's been monsters as far back as I can remember. I know even in the 1920s, the 1800s, whatever, there's always been monsters. You learn about it. There's always been monsters. There's been evil people, always. Even in the fucking 80s. Excuse my language. But even in the 80s, there's always been monsters. So what in the hell are you doing leaving your 6-year-old child in a mall alone so you can go shopping? And then he comes up missing and apparently murdered. And your other 3 children you still did the same thing with even after your first child come up missing and murdered? What kind of parent are you? That's all I gotta say. I want to know what kind of parent does that. You downgrade parents for leaving the child to run into the store to pay for gas because anything can happen and stuff like that. Why the hell has this woman gotten away with the fact that she left her child alone inside a mall and basically abandoned him to go freaking shopping? I'm sorry. I do not leave my children alone at all. If we're driving 2 different vehicles, one of us is going to be there 24/7 while the other one goes inside the store. If I have myself and I have my kids or whatever, I'm taking my kids in the store with me. I'm not leaving my kids alone. All my kids are going to be by my side. I'm not going to leave them alone. So, any woman, any man, any grandma, any grandpa, aunt, uncle, cousin, sister, whatever you want to call it, thinks that it's okay to leave a child alone is ridiculous. Because it's not. because there are evil people everywhere. And a kid can come up missing at any point in time. All it takes is 5 seconds, maybe less than that. So he may be controlled by him. She may be controlled by him. No, she's not controlled by him. I do believe it's the other way around. Because there's a lot of leverage, that she holds, and he doesn't want to upset her. But I will say this: the fact of the matter remains that she's no good, he's no good. And for him to say that he had a sexual addiction, but he was treated for it and he's cured now. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? And then I found out there's another woman who's going around saying that she was purchased by John Walsh to have sex with as a child, that John Walsh purchased her as a child to have sex with her. Not saying like a young child, more like maybe a teenager type. I'm not 100% sure on her age, but I do know that there is that information that is coming out saying that John Walsh purchased this woman. You're never a cure. And see, that's what I don't understand. He talks about all these people on America's Most Wanted being monsters, for what they've done and stuff. But the truth is coming out about who really is a monster. If you get what I'm saying, like, yes, those people on America's Most Wanted may have done wrong, but that man was no less of a monster than those people that was on that show. He really wasn't. To know that this man literally sit here and admitted to being a pedo by knowing his wife was not of legal age to consent and still had relations with her anyway, you're admitting to be a pedophile. You are admitting that you knew it was illegal and it was wrong for you to have sexual relations with your wife, who was only 16 and you were 22 years old, and you done it anyway. That's a pedophile. Yes, y'all may have gotten married later on, but still, that's a pedophile. You admit to being a sex addict, but being treated for your sexual addictions. You admitted to cheating on your wife. All of that. That's a monster. You have other children out here besides the one with your wife. You have 3. Well, technically, he has 4 children with his wife, but he has other children with other women because of his sex addiction. I mean, it just pisses me off that they think it's okay for this man to do this stuff and get away with it. And his wife, and how she done her children. And then Meghan's whole world has changed. She went from having people who filled out her paperwork for her insurance. Her house was sold out from underneath her. They're holding her money for her house hostage to help pay for John's court fees and stuff like that. The whole 9 yards, but they want her to get a house. How is she supposed to get a house when she can't even get her money? And they said she can't get her money till court is done. Well, she just had the TPR trial for the older 3 children. The judge still hasn't made a decision yet. But He said he had 30 days. I'm hoping the man will do the right thing and allow more time. Um, Sorry, y'all. My mind went blank. But you got the new baby that she just had, which they have to give her at least a year to finish everything for that baby. So they may hold the money up until the year time for her in case John and Reve decide to take this baby in after denying the baby the first time. And then, you know, she needs housing. They wanted her to get a job. She just had the baby. She's just now able to go back to work. She's trying to find work. She's really trying her hardest. I mean, it's going to cost her about $2,000 to, even remotely start with having a place, and then her finding a job, because it's just a mess. I know most places require first and last month's rent plus the deposit, plus you got your power deposit. Um, Depending on where you're at, you may have a deposit for water, you may not, depending on if you have well or city water or county water, whatever. Um, Things of that nature. But I mean, it's not fair. It's really not. But I'm not gonna stop fighting to help Meghan. I'm not. So any way and every way I can help expose her case and what's going on. And to know that you had these two CPS workers who had been at her visits from the time her kids were taken, even the new baby. So she had two different workers. One was for the older three children, one was for the new baby. They brought them in to testify on her behalf. And then, because they testified good on Meghan's behalf, they were discredited in court, told that they were just transporters, that they didn't have a degree. But in other CPS cases they've been to, whether good or bad, for the parents, their testimonies have always stuck, except for this time. It didn't stick this time. Their testimonies were struck. Every objection that the state had, the judge let it happen. Like, he literally said, okay, that's fine. Sustained. He never overruled any of their objections. And so their testimonies were completely and totally struck in this courtroom. And these are two CPS workers who said they're not there to see Meghan with her kids. They're not there to see how well she handles her children, how well she loves her children, how much, love her children shower with her. Um, John called one of the workers and started yelling, saying Meghan needed effing help and this and that and the fifth and third, because her daughter came back upset because Meghan told her, she's like, look, you're cutting into your brother's time because, you don't get along with your children. So, yeah, you kind of want to divide the time up equally when you have a lot of children. And so they're like, you know, okay, well, I mean, I don't know what you want me to do on the fact that her daughter was upset because she told her that, she was cutting into her brother's time. But John literally was screaming at this social worker lady who worked there. And after they testified good on Meghan's behalf in court, lo and behold, John didn't like that and said he no longer wanted them at the house, so they had to put since they want to call them transporters in court, all of a sudden, they had to put new transporters on Meghan's case for the kids. And Meghan didn't even get to see the kids, which I don't see why she shouldn't have been able to, because, hey, John was in town, right? And then all of a sudden, John moves out of state, and now he's back in New York instead of in Florida. Go figure. And it's crazy. Like, I've even like connected some dots with Gabby Petito's case and Gabby Petito's family, with the Walshes and stuff. I mean, it could be coincidence. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't, because I have to do more investigation into it. But you look up where John Walsh is originally from and look up where Gabby Petito's parents are originally from. And then lo and behold, that after their children died, both families moved to Vero Beach, Florida. John and Reve moved to Vero Beach, Florida, where Adam Walsh was found. They moved from their town that they lived in, Florida, to the town where Adam's head was allegedly found. What kind of sense does that make? Who in their freaking right mind does that? It's disgusting. I'm sorry, but when you have something tragic like that happen to you, you don't want reminders every day. Who would? You would want to get a far, far, far away from it. You wouldn't want to move to the town where your child's head was found if that was you. Or at least I wouldn't think you would, unless you're a psychopath. But the Washes did. And I do know that it's just coincidental that both families were from the same hometown. John was from the same place as Gabby Petito's parents. And then after the kid dies, they moved to Vero Beach, Florida. It's just weird, in my opinion, that they end up in the same town and they're from the same hometown. And both of them had children that were killed. Although Gabby was, an adult, but still, the fact of the matter is, it's just odd and strange. And then, to know that there's someone in the YouTube community who her and her child was on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, even though they weren't missing. Why would a child and their mother be on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children if they're not missing? What kind of sense does that make? There's just so much that people need to realize and investigate and do their own research. But people want the answers, but people don't want to do the research themselves. And then when you try to speak the truth, they want to call you a liar and say, really, blah, 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 blah. Like, I had someone try to tell me, do you really think that John would admit to being a pedophile in his own book that he wrote? Yeah, I do. Because he did. And black and white ink. Well, white pages, black ink, whatever. And black ink, yeah. It's in his book that he admits to being a pedophile. And a lot of people don't know this because a lot of people have not done their own research. But I just know that everything that's going on in Meghan's case is completely wrong. The fact that her lawyer had only 14 days to prepare for her TPR trial after receiving over 1,000 documents to have to go through, 1,000 pages worth of court papers to literally go through. This woman could have had a chance to go through and looked and been like, this person would be a good witness on Meghan's behalf. Let's subpoena this person. Or, this person might be good for testimonies. Let's subpoena them. Let's see, what else could have happened? They could have, seen some kind of discrepancy somewhere along the way. Something that could have stood out to them. Did she get that chance? No, she didn't. Her lawyer did put up a damn good fight, though. I will give her credit on that. So anyone in the Florida area, again, that needs a family court lawyer, let me know. I have someone to recommend to you. But it's late. It's 12:35 my time. I've been live for 55 minutes. Again, y'all, anyone, everyone, send Megan prayers, thoughts, good vibes, well wishes, whatever you want to call it. Send them her way because she really is struggling and she needs a lot of encouragement. Give her prayers for strength, good vibes, whatever, for strength. She needs them because she's fighting, but it's hard. Like I said, she has tunnel vision. She does not see no light at the end of the tunnel, but I know it can happen. And she needs to keep her faith. And that's what we want prayers and good vibes and well wishes for. Also, anyone who can help Meghan Walsh, I own my ticker. As you can see, her Give Send Go. All money does go directly towards Meghan. Even though it is in somebody else's name, I do know that all monies go directly to Meghan for a fact. She has told me this herself. You didn't see any of it. You're learning from a Facebook group. I'm actually on Facebook. Also, look up Patriots Perspective on Facebook. You can actually see the Globe magazine information, Corin, for where John Walsh was on there and admits to being a sex addict. There's a lot more information. Patriots Perspective does have someone that is part of Meghan's legal team that is on there. So you can definitely see a lot of information about what's been going on behalf of Meghan. She will get through this. It's a tough time right now. Keep helping her. She needs help. Hey, Spirit! Nice to see you. I know she'll get through it, and she needs to keep strong. That's right. And no, Corin, I know you don't doubt her story, but that's what I'm saying. Just look that up because there's a lot more information, and that's one of Meghan's legal team representatives. So there's a lot of information that you can see on there, and find out. Well, um, I don't know how far back it goes, but I do know that you'll definitely see a lot of information. And anyone, again, who wants to help Meghan Walsh, please do so. On my ticker, there's her Give Send Go. I also have her link in my description. Remember, she's having to rebuild her life from scratch. Where is it? Post it here, please. What are you asking me to post in the chat, Corin? But um it's heartbreaking to know that this is what you were sharing. Her Give Send Go or the Patriots Perspective page? Um that's all I have right now is that's the Patriots. Just type that into your search bar and it'll pull up and you can click on it to see, and then I will type in her Give Send Go. And there's her Give Send Go. Um But yeah, like I said, just type in Patriots Perspective. It'll pull it up. I'm on my phone, so it's hard for me to multitask. If I would be on my computer, it would be different. But my computer is just having issues and being all wonky. Yesterday, it took me forever to update my daggone Google Chrome. And then I literally had to like download Google Chrome again to get it to update. And then it like restarted my computer. And then after that, like my um it might have been yesterday, it might have been the day before. My audio wasn't working, my video wasn't working, none of that was working. I don't know what the heck was going on. I'd done a live, and for over 16 minutes I sat there, and come to find out at the end of my live, nobody could hear or see anything because, hey, my laptop was being messed up. And I've only had that laptop a little over a year. I got it last year for my birthday as a birthday present. But yeah, she's definitely a wonderful mother. Um, she really does love her children. Oh yeah, and let's also not forget the fact that they called her crazy in court because of her using her fingers like pointing. They said she must have like anger issues and be mentally unstable because of her pointing at people when she was talking. And I don't see how that should be any way, shape, or form an issue. It's literally talking with your hands. Yeah, it was sad how they done when they took the baby. My 2-year old, when he was 6 days old, they took him from us. So it was very hard for us. We had actually gave my mom a temporary custody of our baby, and they still came took the baby because we had an open CPS case. So she had temporary custody of him. She was there from the time he was born until like we left the hospital. She was there the whole time. She never left. He went straight to her house. We signed paperwork. We had it legally notarized. We were told that the only way you can give temporary custody over is by having a judge's signature on it, which isn't true because people give temporary custody to people all the time using notarized paperwork for them to literally leave the country with children. And I know that to be a fact because I know someone who has done that. But instead of them taking custody from me, from my fiance, or from my mother, they didn't take custody from any of us. They took custody from the residents, which is bullcrap. And I was literally over there a lot because of me nursing him at the time, because of him, being a baby, just like she did with her child. She was nursing her child, and they came and took him at 6 days old. So whenever I tell y'all that I've been in Megan's shoes, I've been in Megan's shoes. Also had 3 other children who I was in the midst of a custody battle with, along with 2 children who was in CPS's care because of my older 3 children's dad and his bullcrap lies. So whenever I say I was in Megan's shoes, I was in Megan's shoes. Mine was a little bit different. I was dealing with 2 different counties. I was dealing with CPS in my county. I was dealing with CPS in the county that my ex lives in, um, along with custody issues with my ex as well. So yeah, so 2 CPSs in 2 different counties, and family court for a custody battle. Yeah, it was a mess and a half, along with still trying to do everything else that CPS in my county wanted me to do, to keep from losing my children. So yeah, it was a whirlwind. I just, I didn't lose my housing and stuff like that. I had my housing. We were working because we had just purchased a home. We were trying to get it moved from where it had been raining for so long, and a lot of the moving companies were behind based on that fact. But we had found someone who actually came and moved it for us so we could start working on getting it set up. And we got it set up and organized, the whole 9 yards and stuff. And I mean, it worked out. Yes, CPS needs to be gone. You are 100% correct. Um, about, I forgot how much it was. 89% of children that are typically in CPS's care come up missing. I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, but um, it was something John Walsh has said that most of the children that end up missing or runaways are from CPS. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. Um, I mean, that's like Erica Parsons in my state. Erica Parsons had been missing for over 2 years. CPS didn't realize it. The foster family had adopted her. Her mother couldn't have no contact with her. Her mother didn't know she was alive or dead or what. Her mother didn't even know she was missing. The family had still been receiving money for this child for over 2 years. Finally, her foster brother went in one day and he's like, look, and he told the school, he said, I think something's wrong. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, my foster sister has been gone for over 2 years. And he's like, we adopted her. He's like, she's no longer in our house. And I have not heard of this Sophie Long case, but I will definitely look into that. Um, I do know that they finally decided after the brother said something to look into it. Come to find out that the Parsons had killed this little girl, and they had been receiving the money off of her for over 2 years. So how lovely is that? And then let's not forget, there's another case. It was a Swadford. I think his name was Jeremiah Swadford, and he ended up dead while in CPS's care, or something to do with that nature. I just know he ended up dead. Then I remember another case I had read about where the little girl was taken by CPS because her mother was in a wheelchair, and they felt that her mother couldn't take care of her properly because she was disabled, and that the dad tested positive for marijuana. So they took the kid based on the fact that the dad was positive for drugs and the mother was wheelchair bound and had a disability. And they placed this little girl in this foster home, and the foster mom had a boyfriend, and they didn't realize that the boyfriend was a recovering crack addict. Oh, so you can take the kid from the dad who only does marijuana and place the kid with a lady who's with a recovering crack addict who slipped, and he ended up killing that little baby. And go ahead and tell me about the case. I'm still here. Just bear with me. Um, you said it's Sophie Long. Would you? What state is the Sophie Long case in? Um, it's in Texas. Do you have an email or something and I can screenshot it? Because I'd rather not put my information out here. Just because, no offense, but I have what they call trolls. Or I have people who, like, if I was to try to put my email or something out here, they would, like, just be horrible. So if you got an email you can stick out here that would be great. And I can screenshot it. Don't put your phone number in here. God, whatever you do, don't put your phone number in the chat. But if you got an email to put in the chat, just let me know and just stick it in there and I'll screenshot it. And then we can go from there and I can email you and give you my contact information that way. Because trolls are like one of the most horrible things in the world. I don't care what nobody says. Hold on. See if I can see it. It's not showing. So like when you put the @ symbol, you might want to space it if you're putting your email in there. Like put @ and then space and then whatever else it is, because I forgot you're not a mod, so it may not let you do it that way, so you may have to space it out. I know this stuff is stupid. YouTube and its algorithm and stuff. You can see it? I don't see it. Let me refresh and see if that works. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I still don't see it. I see what's your contact info, then I see texts, then I see let me know you got it, and then I see where you said I can see it. Hmm. So I don't. I still don't see it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So hold on. I'm gonna give you. This isn't my main email. This is okay. So you got that? Okay. So I'm going to. So yeah, that's not my main email. It won't let me delete it. That's not my main email anyway. So that's just like a secondary email that I have in case something ever happened. So I'll use that just for now, and then I'll have to create a new email later on. But you just email me on that one, and
I will give you my contact information through that one. But that way, the trolls, if they try to email me, it's not my main email. Yeah, go ahead and delete yours. But because like I said, I don't really use that one. I just have that one for a backup. So I think I created it to get a coupon for something. Uh, um, there's no mods in here showing just you in here, but typically, like, you can click on it, like, click on your comment and then hit remove, and it'll remove your comment. Because, I mean, like I said, I don't even see it, so I don't know. Maybe it's just showing on your end. I don't know. Because it's not showing in my chat. That's like you offs from earlier today. Like, it was in there and then it just disappeared. I don't know what's going on with YouTube today. I can probably look in a little bit and yeah, I was gonna say if need be, I can probably look in a little bit and see once this actually fully uploads and go through my live chat, replay and delete it that way. So I mean, like I said, if the trolls want to try, they can, but my email that I did drop is not my main one at least. But I'll definitely go through the live chat replay and delete them for you. But I'm gonna hop off here and look through right quick and delete your email, and then I'll probably screenshot it that way I have it, and I'll email you tomorrow from my main email so that way you have it. But I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go to bed. But I appreciate you being in here listening because I'm I'm upset with how things are going and how it should be for Meghan and the fact that she's having a hard time. So, but I'll talk to you later.